Hi everyone, I'm Corwin. This is Adam. You're watching a HandbasketGaming Answers video. We've got some answers for you.
We asked you guys what our worst breakup was. Mine was the one back in 6th grade that ended in a death threat. I broke up with the girl, and then I rode my bike away from her house, and as I was riding away, she screamed down the street after me, "I will kill you, Adam Johnson!"
Which, to me, is comically funny.
It was terrifying at the time, but it's hilarious now.
I was getting a ride home, and I was halfway home, and I broke up. But there was still another, half an hour drive. I could have waited, 30 more minutes, but I just did it in the middle of the drive for some reason.
It's because you're a bad person.
Yeah.
We asked you guys what our childhood fear was. I was scared of nondescript monsters that just sort of existed in my brain.
I was scared of the dark, like a normal person.
We asked you what our first thing our dads let us do that mom definitely wouldn't have. Mine was my mom was away doing some
Mom stuff.
Yeah. And it was just me and my dad at home, and he's just like, we rented Predator, and we watched Predator when I was probably
Such a
too
good
young
movie.
to be watching Predator. Corwin?
My dad let me, when I would go visit him and mom was away, he'd let me play Doom because he knew I wasn't allowed to play that game at our house. So he let me play with him at his house.
We asked you guys what the worst dad joke we've ever heard was. This one, it wasn't originally from Corwin, but most recently I heard it from Corwin, which was, "Hey, you hear about the scarecrow that got a promotion?"
No, I didn't, Adam.
"Oh, he was outstanding in his field."
What?
It's terrible.
And mine is, hey, Adam, do you know why chicken coops only have 2 doors?
I don't know. Why?
Because if it had 4 doors, it'd be a chicken sedan. What?
I was going for chicken noises, but air
I was
horns work
going for
too.
air horns.
Yep. We asked you what our favorite part of high school was. I liked being in the marching band. Did it all 4 years. It was a great time.
And for me, this was actually a pretty fun thing that I didn't even know about my freshman year, which made it ridiculously crazy. Every single year, every single class was responsible for a deck the halls thing around the wintertime, where they completely did up a whole floor, a whole section of the school building with some sort of themed Christmassy, winter thing. And this involved, literally paper over the whole walls, giant human-sized displays of stuff everywhere. I was not aware that this was a thing that our school did my freshman year, so I literally walked into school, and I was always there super early, so I was there before most students. So I walked into an empty building, and the entire Wild West laid before me. There were carriages. There was literally a tumbleweed just flying down the hall, and I was like, "What? Where am I?" And that was my first experience on drug. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, deck the halls.
Yep. You're just standing there as Wyatt Earp.
Yeah, it was Major Derp.
Get it? Like Wyatt Earp?
Yeah, I said Major Derp because
That doesn't.
no, it doesn't. All right.
We asked you what our jobs were in high school. I worked at Subway for many, many years.
You know, Nick also worked at Subway.
Yeah, I know. We bonded over that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're sandwich artists.
Nice. I worked at a organic grocery store. It was a very hipstery, trendy sort of place that is now out of business.
We asked you guys what our retirement plans are. Mine used to be opening up a comic book shop. Now it's going to be opening up a comic book shop / cat cafe because I love my wife, and that incorporates her as well.
I'm going to be honest, my retirement plan is probably to work at that cat cafe with Adam, but otherwise I don't see myself retiring, so death, that's my retirement plan.
We asked you what our Oreo ingestion method is. This is, if you guys don't know about this is a piece of brilliance that I am imparting to you.
Legitimately, I was impressed.
I taught this to him minutes ago. You take your Oreo, you take a fork, and then
Fork it.
you insert your fork into the cream in the middle.
Put in the cream.
That holds onto the fork. You dunk the entire Oreo into your milk without getting your fingers wet at all. No milk on your hands. And then you retract and you eat one solid bite. And then it's glorious because you have uniform milk distribution. The key is that you don't wait too long, though, because then if you wait too long, you pull your fork out and you've just got the cream on your fork, and you're just sad, and you just stare, and think about the choices that have led you to this moment.
Womp, womp, womp.
Corwin?
I just like to slowly dunk mine to death. I do it the way you probably do it, where you just put it in the milk a few times. But I kind of like it that way, to be honest, because, yeah, then half of it, 2/3 of it are all soggy, but the last bit
Is wrong.
is tasty.
We asked you guys how we beat our childhood fear. Mine was my dad gave me paper and markers and taught me how to make monster signs. And it's just signs that would scare away monsters. And so I made many of these signs and hung them up all over my room, and that I knew that scared the monsters away because my dad told me they did.
That's legitimately adorable. I genuinely think
Shut up!
awesome.
I'm not adorable.
Yeah.
You're adorable.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I have a really overactive imagination, part of the reason why I was scared of the dark. So what I ended up doing as a kid, I remember laying in bed being scared of things coming out of my closet or from my bedroom door. I just imagined that Pennywise the clown, which I was terrified of, and Freddy, who I was also really, really terrified of, were playing cards at the end of my bed. And anytime a monster tried to come to my room, they would chase the monster away and be like, fuck off, he's our dude. So...
And that's
I legitimately got over my fear of the dark because I thought I had protectors from things in the dark.
So just to be clear, that's Freddie Prinze Jr., right?
Yeah,
Not Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Freddie
okay.
Prinze Jr.
Yeah,
Freddy
okay.
Krueger, who's that guy?
Exactly. Okay. We asked you what would we do for a Klondike bar. I actually have Klondike bars in my freezer right now, so I'd walk to my freezer and eat one.
Now, you'd think that I would say that I would walk into Adam's freezer and eat one too, but no. No, I'm going to walk into the holiest of cathedrals, and I will take upon in my hands the glass jar container thingy of holy water, and I will remove it so you'll have no ammunition against the vampiric dead. And then I will accept my vampiric tasty treat.
Ah, so it's a bribe from the vampires. I
Yeah.
understand now.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that
Yep.
for a Klondike bar.
For that ammunition.
Ammunition.
We asked you guys who our favorite Power Ranger was. Mine is Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. Shout out to Fiberactor for getting that one right. Corwin's is...
Zach, the Black Ranger, because he had an axe, and that was really cool. And as a kid, I was easily impressed by axes. That sentence.
We asked what we do when we have the hiccups. I have never found a repeatable method for getting rid of my hiccups, so I just sit there and hope.
For me, legitimately holding my breath works for me 90% of the time.
We asked you guys what prank we are proudest of. Mine was back in high school in Cisco class. You take all the icons on somebody's website, somebody's desktop, copy them into the startup folder of Windows. Then when they boot up their computer, it tries to open all of those things, and they get confused. An important note: this works if you have a relatively clean desktop and you do it once. Don't be like that douche who repeated my prank onto somebody else's PC and then took all those icons and copy-pasted them a bunch of times so that they had thousands of things as opposed to a dozen things trying to load. Because that just craters the computer, and your teacher gets really pissed.
That wasn't me. I wasn't in his class.
No, yeah, that's...
Just clarifying that right away. For me, and I'm particularly proud of the story, me and some of my friends decided to pull a prank on our friend Chris. Chris went out to dinner with his family. So, as we knew, his bedroom window was easily slide upable, was not latched. So we slid up his bedroom window, broke into his house basically, snuck in through the window, he had a huge CD collection. We stole all of his Genesis CDs and rode away on bicycles with this huge stack of Genesis. This dude had a huge music collection. Then when he came home, we called him and left a ransom message for his Genesis CDs. So he then said, all right, I'll pay up the 10,000 pennies that we had requested. So we show up with all of the CDs and we get there and he gives us the slow clap. He says, good work. You think you're going to stop me from my Genesis? And we're like, yeah, we've got all your CDs. He's like, bullshit you do. Pulled out a case from underneath his bed. He's like, you guys forgot about all of my DVDs. You guys forgot about all my live videos. And he pulled out a whole bunch of other stuff from his closet. He had vinyls. There was no way we were going to cut him off from Genesis. No fucking way. That was my favorite prank.
There's not that many Genesis
So what's the strangest food that we like, Adam?
I like tuna steaks, like blackened. You put Cajun seasoning all over them and put them in a cast iron and essentially burn them. But it blackens up the outside and you get like this crust that's all savory and it's delicious. But it's a little out of the ordinary, so I think that's strange.
And mine is Cincinnati chili. If you don't know what that is, it's because you don't live anywhere near us, and you should check it out online.
And you should live near.
Yes, go on, move closer.
Now.
It's a swing state.
Now. And he means sex-like.
We're only
full of swingers. We asked you what our first car was. Mine was an Oldsmobile 88 Royale. I honestly can't remember what year it was. I want to say an 89, oddly enough, even though it was an 88 Royale. Corwin?
Mine was a Ford Fusion 2012.
We asked you what the worst natural disaster we ever lived through was. For a while there, mine was the tornado that touched down a street away from mine growing up. But then this past year, 2 years ago, we were down in Florida during Hurricane Matthew, and that was interesting.
I remember being worried about you down there when that was going on. I'm glad you're all right. I've never been through a disaster.
No, you've been through a national disaster.
Oh yeah, I have. But I haven't. I don't think I've been through a natural disaster ever, unless I count that one time when it rained frogs. But I don't think that's going to count.
Yeah, that's unrelated.
Yeah.
That's. We asked you what the strangest illness we've ever had was. Mine was allergy-induced asthma. It sucked.
Sounds like it sucked. Mine was kind of common, I guess, for teenagers. I got mono. But the reason the mono is interesting for me is that I gave mono to my girlfriend, and then my girlfriend had mono so bad that a doctor said she couldn't get out of bed because she could possibly rupture her spleen and die. And that's how I met her parents, was because I put their daughter in the hospital.
I mean, of the ways to put a girlfriend in the hospital, that's probably the best one. Just saying.
Yeah, I didn't do anything terrible. Yeah, you didn't
knock her around or knock her up. So those
truth.
Fuck. We asked you what the strangest food we've ever eaten was. I was in Hawaii for a band trip in high school, and I tried an octopus burger, or it might have been a squid burger. I can't remember, but it was essentially just like this slice of rubbery, just.
What was that, Ab? What was a slice of?
It was gross. It was like eating a rubber burger that kind of tasted like nothing. It was really fucking weird. Corwin?
Rattlesnake, hands down. It was kind of weird.
They don't have hands.
They don't have hands. They don't have feet either, weirdly enough.
We asked you what the most disgusting food we've ever tried was. I had in France duck liver mousse. It was just like this pink slab of.
Yeah. That sounds horrible. It sounds kind of like an octopus burger.
It was it was like Jell-O consistency, but it tasted like gross duck. Oh my god! Oh, I don't. I'm done. Answer.
All right. Most disgusting food I ever tried was on accident, but I ate at this place called Hardee's. You guys probably heard of it. It's horrible.
I love Hardee's.
It's so bad.
Oh, we used to have one down the street from my house, and we went there all the time. Monster burgers, delicious.
You know what's better than Hardee's? Anything. What kind of dads do we want to be, Adam?
I don't know. We asked them. I really... that didn't go well. I want to be a teaching sort of dad, like always imparting the lessons and whatnot.
I'm going to be an adventure dad. I want to take my kid out on adventures. I want to give him stories that he's going to remember. I think that teaching gets involved in that, but also is kind of fun as well. My dad definitely did some really cool stuff with me as a kid that I want to do when I've got a kid.
All right, that's all we got for you today. So subscribe if you like our stuff. Share the videos around to anybody who you think would like our videos. And I'm going to do a weird dance until Corwin ends the episode.
Beep, 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 beep. What's that? Zordon? Adam, we got to go.
Jesus, was that your shoulders?
Yeah.
Bye.